Late evening, a train carriage moving quietly through London. The lights are soft, the seats are half full, and most people are looking down, at their phones, at the floor, at nothing in particular. It's the kind of silence that feels normal, comfortable, contained. Then a voice cuts through it, sharp, irritated, too loud for the space. A man standing near the doors begins speaking aggressively to someone sitting down. At first, it sounds like a disagreement. Then the tone shifts. It becomes personal, insulting, the kind of tension that tightens the air without anyone announcing it. You feel it immediately. Your shoulders stiffen. Your breathing changes slightly. You don't look up fully, but you're listening. Everyone is listening. You glance around. No one is moving. A woman across from you keeps scrolling. A man near the window adjusts his headphones. Someone coughs. The train keeps moving. The man's voice gets louder. You think, this isn't right. But no one stands, no one speaks, and something subtle happens inside you. If it were truly serious, surely someone would say something. If it were truly dangerous, surely someone would act. But nobody does, so you stay still. The scariest part isn't what he's doing, it's what everyone else is doing. And this scene isn't rare, it isn't extreme. It doesn't belong to crime documentaries or dramatic headlines. It belongs to ordinary life. A racist joke in a meeting that lands too comfortably. A colleague being mocked while others smile politely. A stranger crying quietly on a bench while people walk past. Someone being belittled in a pub while the table laughs a little too long. In each situation, something feels off. In each situation, multiple people notice. And in each situation, nothing happens. It would be easy to call this coldness, to assume people don't care. But the reality is more unsettling than that. People care. They just don't move. Psychologists have studied this pattern for decades. One of the most well-known explanations comes from what's called the bystander effect. The basic finding was simple but disturbing. The more people who witness a troubling situation, the less likely any one person is to intervene. It sounds backwards. More witnesses should mean more help. But human behavior doesn't work that way. When something unusual happens, we look to others for cues. We scan faces, posture, reactions. If no one else appears alarmed, we adjust our interpretation. Maybe it's not that serious. Maybe I misread it. Maybe it's none of my business. Silence becomes a signal. And when everyone is silently scanning everyone else, the result is paralysis. This phenomenon is often called pluralistic ignorance. Each individual privately believes something is wrong, but because nobody publicly reacts, everyone assumes they are alone in that belief. So doubt grows. You begin to question your own perception. You don't want to overreact. You don't want to cause a scene, especially in cultures where politeness and restraint are social currency, where drawing attention to yourself feels almost worse than tolerating discomfort. Your mind moves quickly through calculations. Is this my responsibility? What if I embarrass myself? What if I escalate it? What if it stops on its own? These thoughts don't feel cowardly. They feel reasonable, mature, controlled. You're not ignoring the situation, you're assessing it. But everyone else is doing the same assessment, and because no one wants to be the first to disrupt the social order, the moment stretches, then settles, then passes. The man on the train eventually quiets down. The colleague's joke fades into the meeting agenda. The uncomfortable laughter at the pub dissolves into another round of drinks. Life resumes. But something important has just been revealed. This reaction, the hesitation, the waiting, the quiet compliance, isn't rare, it's normal. That's the part that should unsettle you, because it means you don't need to be cruel to allow harm to continue. You don't need to agree with something to let it slide. You don't even need to be indifferent. You just need to be surrounded by other people who are also waiting. Research consistently shows that as group size increases, personal responsibility decreases. When 20 people witness the same moment, responsibility doesn't multiply, it divides. It becomes thinner, lighter, easier to set down. Someone else will handle it, surely. But someone else is thinking the same thing. Small injustices survive this way. Workplace bullying lingers. Casual harassment becomes routine. Minor humiliations repeat. Not because everyone approves, but because no one interrupts. The system doesn't need villains, it only needs silence. And silence, in groups, feels safe. It protects you from embarrassment, from social rejection, from standing alone. Evolution wired us to fear isolation more than discomfort. Being wrong in front of a crowd can feel more threatening than witnessing something wrong, so we stay aligned. We match the room. We let the moment pass. Back on that train carriage, the tension eventually dissolves. The man gets off at the next stop. People relax almost instantly, as if permission has been granted. Eye contact returns. But no one speaks about what just happened. And maybe you tell yourself it wasn't that serious. Maybe it truly wasn't. But that quiet calculation, that split-second decision to wait, is something deeper than the situation itself. It reveals how strongly social signals shape your actions, how quickly responsibility can evaporate in shared spaces, how easily normal people become passive participants in moments they privately disagree with. The scariest part isn't that this happens, it's that it happens predictably, ordinarily, naturally. The next time you feel that shift in the air, that subtle awareness that something isn't right, you'll probably look around again. You'll check faces, posture, reactions, and if no one moves, you'll feel the pull to stay still, because that's what humans do. The question isn't whether you're capable of hesitation. You are. The question is simple. When the moment comes, will you move first?